Hey, so I got a request to do kind of like a neutral nude look, and so I decided to do this look. It's really simple, you know, you don't need that many products, and I'm going to show you everything from the foundation I used through bronzer and blush and everything. Definitely the products I used you can totally substitute, you know, drugstore stuff or, you know, your favorite brand, because it's not like, you know, very unique colors. So I hope you guys like this, and I hope it's a, you know, a useful look that you can, you know, go to work or school in or whatever. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is just put on a primer. I'm using a Tarina Tarantino one, and I was testing this one out. It was a gift from Sephora, you know, from your Sephora points. I actually don't like this. It just sort of pilled up on my skin. It was hard to blend on. You know, maybe because of my skin type, though. But anyway, just take any primer and smooth it over your face. Focus on any flaky areas especially. Now the foundation I'm going to use is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse foundation, and I do love this. I have a review on it. And I'm just going to take a little like pea-sized amount, rub it in between my fingers, and then just apply it with my fingers all over my face. It's got a really great texture. It blends in very easily. But definitely it's a must to apply a primer beforehand, because it might sort of stick to dry spots otherwise. Alright, for my concealer I'm using Bare Minerals, and my color is medium, and this is actually a very, very full coverage concealer, and I use a regular foundation brush and just sort of pack it on under my eyes and on any blemishes. So I just use what's on the cap, because you do not need much of this at all. And I tap my brush in that, and I'm going to put it under my eyes and just on any problem spots I have. I do like Bare Minerals a lot. My only problem with them is as a foundation it can make my skin very, very dry. However, if you have oily skin, I think it's, you know, the perfect foundation for you. Especially because it is mineral based. You know, it's a lot less likely to break you out than most foundations. So I'm just placing that under my eye, and this is a slightly pink-based concealer, which is why I'm using it. I'm also going to place it on my lids, and this is actually going to act as my base, because I don't want to use a paint pot or anything like that, because I don't want to add too much color to this look. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Smashbox Push Liner Brush. If you've never seen one of these, they have that sort of square head, and they're very firm. And I'm taking that brown color from the fabulous Feline Leopard Luxe Quad, and that color is called Notoriety. And I'm just going to use that with the liner brush to very gently fill in my brows. I don't want them to look like, you know, like Groucho Marx brows or anything, but you do want them, you know, not to really have any bald spots, I guess you could say. Okay, next I'm grabbing this MAC blush, and this is Dame, which has got to be my favorite blush of all time. It's just a sort of rosy pink color, and I'm taking my angled fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put it on the apples of my cheeks. And of course you can use any, you know, any sort of rosy blush that's going to flatter your skin tone. I'm just going to sort of sweep that around my cheeks, get a little bit up by my temples. I'm just keeping it really low-key. Alright, then I'm taking my MAC 217, and I'm using this to apply another Bare Minerals shade, and this is a loose eyeshadow called Bali, and it's a beautiful, very sparkly, sort of rosy gold color. So again, I'm using what's left over on the lid of the eyeshadow, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lid, you know, up into my crease a little bit, just sort of as a wash of color. It's a very pretty, subtle color. Something like, you know, MAC's Naked Lunch or Jest or All That Glitters would also work. Next I'm going to take my MAC 222, and I'm taking this Paula Dorf eyeshadow, and this is in the color Serenity. And it's just a very beigey, pink-toned beige that's a little darker. So I'm going to use that to emphasize my crease. And it's just going to give a little depth to my eye, but not darken it up too much. So you're just going to sort of use that windshield wiper motion and go back and forth in the sort of socket of your eye. And don't be afraid to drag it up and out a little bit farther because it is a very neutral color. Alright, next, this is a cream color base, and this is in Hush. And these can be used on eyes, lips, cheeks, but I'm going to use this as my brow highlight and also to highlight my cheekbones. This is a really pretty sort of iridescent baby shell pink. There's a bunch of good colors that you can get in the cream color bases. Another good highlight is called Shell, and there's also one called Pearl. And all of those would make great highlights. I just happen to like this one. So just sort of apply that to your cheekbones, you know, where the light would naturally hit you. Alright, now I'm going to take my MAC 266, and that's an angled liner brush. And again, I'm going to be using, out of the Leopard Luxe quad, that black. It's a very soft gray black called Furiously Fabulous. And I'm just going to line my lash line with this. And the reason I'm doing this, and I want to keep it very subtle and very close to the lash line, but you'll see in a moment it really makes your lashes appear a lot longer. You can already see the difference. And it's just a really subtle way to define your eye without looking like you're wearing, you know, a ton of liner. And I'm also going to take a little bit and push it on my upper waterline. And again, that's just going to make my eyelashes look longer. So you can see the difference right there. It's very subtle, but it does a good job. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other eye. Just sort of wiggling it into the base of my lashes. Definitely want to make sure it's, you know, worked in there well and that it doesn't look like a separate line. And also on this side as well, sort of push it gently into your upper waterline at the base of your lashes. Alright, then I'm going to go back to the Leopard Luxe quad, and I'm taking this brown again that I used on my eyebrows, that's Notoriety, and I'm just going to gently push that into the base of my lower lashes, but only on the outer half of my eye. I don't want to bring it in too much. Sorry for the weird faces, it's hard to do. So yeah, just keep that definitely on the outside, keep it really subtle, you know, you don't want to make your eye look too heavy. Next I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm just sort of going to pump them a couple times in here. I want it to be a very gentle curve to them. Then I'm taking my Clinique mascara. This is the high impact mascara. And I'm going to do a light coat of that. And again, I'm going to focus most of the mascara on the outer lashes. Just, it looks a lot more natural to have the focus on the outer half of your eye as opposed to the inner corner. And make sure you keep it light. You don't want it to be, you know, overly obvious that you're wearing mascara. I am kind of a mascara junkie, so I always put a lot on, but, you know, especially if you have light lashes, try and keep it toned down. And then also just sort of touch the wand to your lower lashes. Alright, and then this is my lipstick in Modesty, and this is the perfect nude lip for me. Just any color that's sort of your lips but better. You can see that this is just sort of a touch darker than my natural lip color. And then just blend it out with your finger. This is supposed to look subtle. Next, I almost forgot to add this part, we're going to use a bronzer to shape your cheeks. And I'm using from the Benefit 10 Duo, I'm using that dark bronze. And just use, you know, a fairly small face brush, and, you know, you can suck your cheeks in and find underneath your cheekbone and just blend that in really well. You know, you don't want a harsh line, you don't want to use a sparkly bronzer, but you can see there the difference it's made already. And this is just going to sort of help sculpt your face, you know, add some definition. So do that on the other side and a little bit in your temples. And so this is your final product. I hope you guys liked it, and I guess I'll talk to you later.